Something is out there in the woods. Hikers keep going missing. These are the chilling encounters that many believe are directly linked to Bigfoot. In December 2024, 2 men disappeared deep inside the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest, one of the most remote, heavily wooded regions of the Pacific Northwest. They weren't just on a camping trip. They were searching for Bigfoot.
The family says the 2 were out looking for Sasquatch.
And the 2 were searching for Sasquatch.
According to local reports, the 2 Portland men were part of a small community, convinced that Sasquatch sightings in the area were tied to something much bigger and much more dangerous. They had visited the forest several times before, but this time, they never made it back. Days later, a massive 3-day search effort ensued, involving over 60 volunteers, including search and rescue teams, canine units, drones, and ground searchers. That's when rescue teams found their bodies, both of them victims of exposure. No signs of an accident, just gone, as if they had wandered into the trees, and something made sure they never left. What really rattled locals, though, was where they were found, just miles from the infamous Ape Canyon, the same place that, back in 1924, a group of miners claimed they were attacked by mountain devils during the night. And it's not just old stories. In the months before the Bigfoot hunters vanished, sightings in the area had spiked. Locals were capturing these creatures, sometimes knowing, and other times oblivious of the fact that a beast might be lurking nearby.
Isn't this gorgeous?
Some say it's just shadows. Others say it's the same thing those miners saw 100 years ago. But what can't be denied is this. 2 men went into those woods looking for Bigfoot, and they didn't come back alive. And no one can explain what really happened out there. There's a place in the far north that makes the Bermuda Triangle look tame. Locals call it the Alaska Triangle, a vast region stretching between Anchorage, Juneau, and Barrow. And since the 1970s, more than 20,000 people have vanished inside it without a trace. But this isn't just about geography or bad weather. For years, witnesses have reported things moving through the snow. Massive things, covered in dark fur, walking on 2 legs.
Oh my God. There it is. It's right behind that tree.
Sometimes even leaving behind footprints. Entire search parties have gone in, only to come back with stories of howls echoing across valleys and trees stripped clean, too high for any known animal to reach. And while scientists try to explain it away with hypothermia or getting lost, native Alaskan tribes have been warning about this creature for generations, calling it the Hairy Man. And then there were stories linked like of Andrew Kamluck, who had gone out logging in 1931. He was found dead in the woods from a blow to the head. A piece of log-moving equipment nearby may have been used as a weapon. Sometime later, Tom Larson went out to chop wood for fish traps when he saw something large and hairy on the beach. Some say this Alaskan Sasquatch variation is more aggressive than the one seen down south. Larger, faster, less afraid to make itself known. And what ties it all together is the pattern. The disappearances happen most often in areas surrounded by dense forest, snow-covered mountains, and zero road access. The perfect hiding place. Even satellite searches have failed to turn up anything. But then, every now and then, a clue appears, a footprint, or a sighting. So whether it's Bigfoot, something alien, or something we still don't understand, something is taking people in the Alaska Triangle, and it's been happening for decades. In 1983, a 4-year-old girl named Nylene Marshall vanished while playing near a creek in the Helena National Forest, Montana. Marshall was playing with other children who had walked ahead of her near the beaver dams on Maupin Creek. When they turned around, Marshall was nowhere to be seen. Search teams combed the forest for weeks, but what came next is what made this case legendary. Years later, her family began receiving anonymous letters. The writer claimed to be raising Nylene off the grid, teaching her at home, and keeping her hidden from the world. Whoever it was called the FBI and gave information that only someone close to the case would know. Enough to make agents know that this wasn't a prank. But the man was never found, and neither was Nylene. So the theories began. One stood out, the wild man theory, a feral human, a forest dweller, living completely isolated from civilization, possibly for decades. Someone who moves silently, watches from the trees, and knows exactly how to avoid being seen. In 2012, one such creature was even caught on a trail camera. This theory isn't just internet folklore. Let's go back to 1969. 6-year-old Dennis Martin was on a Father's Day hike with his family near Spence Field, a grassy clearing deep inside the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. The kids were playing hide and seek. Dennis stepped behind a bush, and he was never seen again. There was a huge search, but then came the chilling report. A separate family, hiking nearby, heard a loud scream and then saw a wild-looking hairy man running through the trees, carrying something over his shoulder. Rangers dismissed the sighting, but the locals didn't. And that same year, hikers near Yellowstone described someone living deep in the forest, tall, hairy, and moving upright through the brush. Some believe these are simply disturbed humans living outside society. Others think there's something more to it, something not quite human, but not quite animal either. And in the case of Nylene Marshall, it's the silence that haunts. Because despite national media coverage, a police sketch, and decades of investigation, not a single verified sighting has ever been confirmed. She disappeared into the trees, and someone or something took her in. Back in July of 1981, 14-year-old Stacy Arris was on a guided horseback trip through Yosemite National Park, traveling with her father and a small group of tourists. They had stopped for the night at Sunrise High Sierra Camp, a remote backcountry station. At some point that afternoon, Stacy decided to walk a short distance away from the group to take photographs. She wasn't going far, just down a nearby path to get a better shot of the lake. One man from the group watched her walking down the trail. A few minutes passed, and she never came back. Search teams were called in almost immediately. Over the next 9 days, helicopters, dogs, and dozens of searchers scoured the area, but the only thing they ever found was the cap from her camera lens. Years later, when journalists and researchers tried to access her case file, they were denied. And this led to people asking more questions. What could possibly be in there that they wouldn't want public? That's what raised so many eyebrows. Yosemite has long been rumored to be home to something strange. Over the years, hikers have reported sightings of large, upright figures in the forest, creatures moving on 2 legs, often seen at night, leaving behind massive footprints or disappearing just as quickly as they appeared. The footprints, paired with unusual nighttime sounds and rocks thrown at tents, had locals talking about something they simply call the Tall One. In fact, the same region where Stacy vanished has been tied to multiple Bigfoot sightings over the last few decades. Stacy isn't the only one to disappear under strange circumstances. Years later, a hiker named Timothy John Barnes went missing in almost the same spot. His backpack was found near a ridge, but like Stacy, there was no body, no sign of injury, and no explanation. So the question still stands. Why was only Stacy's lens cap found? Why has her case been sealed for over 40 years? And why does one of America's most visited national parks seem to have so many footprints, but no answers? On July 24th, 1997, Amy Rowe Bechtel pulled her car onto a remote gravel road deep inside Shoshone National Forest. She was just 24 years old, a promising athlete, and had gone out that day for a solo run in the Wind River Mountains, one of the most isolated regions in Wyoming. She never came back. Her car was found hours later, parked neatly at a trailhead. Inside were her sunglasses, car keys, and a roll of undeveloped film. Everything was in place, except Amy. Search teams arrived quickly, but they couldn't find anyone. And that's when people started asking the bigger question: what kind of place erases someone this cleanly? The forest she disappeared in has long been part of what some call missing 411 territory, clusters of bizarre, unexplained vanishings in national parks across North America. And Amy's case fits the pattern almost perfectly. An experienced hiker disappears alone. No witnesses, no weather issues, and no evidence left behind. But it doesn't stop there. In the years since Amy's disappearance, hikers and campers in the same region have reported something strange. Tall figures moving through the tree line, heavy footsteps circling tents late at night.
He's literally walking.
And the overwhelming sense of being watched by something that wasn't quite human. Coming back to Amy, some believe she may have crossed paths with someone hiding in those woods, a person who didn't want to be found. Others think it wasn't a person at all. The Wind River Range has been linked to stories of creatures for decades, tall, silent, and powerful. And Amy's disappearance remains one of the most disturbing unsolved cases in modern wilderness history. Just a still forest, and a silence that never gave her back. In 2014, Kenny Veach, a solo hiker and YouTuber from Nevada, set out into the desert to find something strange he believed he had stumbled across once before. A cave shaped like the letter M, hidden somewhere near Nellis Air Force Base. He claimed the cave wasn't just unusual, it was dangerous. In a video, he was seen looking for the cave again, searching for a weird cave that I came across on a previous hike.
And I'm looking for a cave that I found, and I didn't have a sidearm when I was here before, and something about that cave just spooked me. Out of all the caves I've ever gone in, this one just made my body vibrate. The closer I got to it, the crazier my body felt, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna go in there right now, but I'm coming back someday.
He described it as overwhelming, like something inside the cave was affecting him physically. Spooked, he turned back, but the internet wanted proof. Encouraged by viewers and skeptics, Kenny returned to the area to find it again, this time with his camera rolling. He never came back. His phone was later found near an abandoned mine shaft, but Kenny himself was gone. That's when the theories started. Some believed he stumbled into a military testing zone, and that whatever he found wasn't meant to be seen. The location sits just miles from classified areas near Nellis, where Black Ops aircraft and underground installations have long been rumored. Others think he may have uncovered something even stranger. They linked it straight to Bigfoot. Others knew. Often Bigfoot causes a fearful or spooky feeling in nearby humans. But then the area where Veach was doesn't really have a lot of Bigfoot sightings, so it didn't really convince a lot of people. Still, chances were there. But for others, they had other reasons. I wonder if the cave was vibrating because it was going to collapse, and maybe he found it and got buried by falling rocks. And in Kenny's last YouTube upload, he's clearly unsettled. His words are calm, but his eyes scan the horizon constantly. It's as if he already knew he wasn't alone out there. There's also the cave itself. The one Kenny was looking for, the so-called M cave, has never been verified, even with coordinates, maps, and drone searches. It's as if the location shifted or was never meant to be found again. Years later, there's still no trace of Kenny Veach, just a man walking into the desert looking for answers and disappearing into something no one can quite explain. For years, strange things have happened deep in the woods of Grimes County. Unexplained screams, missing objects, footprints in places no person should be. For a while, it was easy to dismiss until people started seeing evidence. One night, as a woman named Kathy was out, a scream echoed out from the dark. It was unlike anything she'd ever heard before. Later, Kathy found massive footprints by the tree line. It was three-toed, clawed, and was deep enough to bend the grass underneath. A few nights after that, she heard the howls, 2 of them, echoing back and forth like a call and response. That's the time when scary things began to happen. Heavy cement blocks at the gates were being moved. 8 decorative discs disappeared from the dog enclosures, ripped clean off without a trace. The next morning, they found a clump of coarse orangey blonde hair lodged beneath the 5th wheel, along with more of those same tracks. But this creature didn't fit the typical profile. Its feet were longer, slimmer, and that led to the conclusion that it wasn't just Bigfoot. It was more like a wolfman. And not long after that, another video got uploaded which showed this. For Kathy and Jerry, this wasn't some legend passed down by locals. It was real, it was outside, and it was watching. Some called it a wolfman. Others said it was just another face of Bigfoot. But no one could explain why it came here, to a place full of predators, and didn't seem afraid of any of them. In late 2024, footage captured near the mountainous region of Aguascalientes shows what appears to be an impossibly tall figure, standing motionless on a distant ridge. The proportions are all wrong. The figure appears to be at least 12 to 15 feet tall, standing perfectly still, as if surveying the valley below. Any figure at that distance would look way smaller. You could barely even notice them. What makes this sighting particularly chilling is its connection to centuries-old Mexican folklore. Long before Spanish colonization, indigenous peoples of central Mexico spoke of the Quinametzin, a race of giants who once walked the earth. According to Aztec codices and oral traditions, these beings were said to be the remnants of a previous world, survivors of great floods who retreated to remote mountains and caves. They were described as peaceful but elusive, avoiding contact with humans while maintaining their ancient vigil over the land. The Nahuatl people specifically mentioned giants in the region that is now Aguascalientes, calling them the Tall Watchers, beings who would stand sentinel on mountaintops, visible only at dawn and dusk when the light played tricks on mortal eyes. What do you think? Is this one of the tall watchers? Deep in the remote wilderness of Russia, explorers stumbled upon something that shouldn't exist. A perfectly circular shaft, carved into solid rock, descending so far into the earth, local authorities won't discuss it. Geological surveys have been classified, but the footage leaked anyway. And when you listen closely, you can hear why they wanted it buried. Those sounds aren't echoes or wind currents. They sound like screams of agony, rising from depths that shouldn't be possible. Sounds that seem almost human. This isn't the first time Russia has encountered something like this. Back in the 1970s, Soviet scientists were conducting the deepest drilling project in human history, the Kola Super Deep Borehole. They were trying to drill through the Earth's crust, deeper than anyone had ever gone before. But at 12,000 meters down, something went wrong. Equipment began malfunctioning. Temperatures spiked to over 1,000 degrees Celsius, far hotter than expected. And then, the microphones picked up sounds. Dr. Dmitry Azakov, the project's chief scientist, later claimed they had drilled through the gates of hell itself. The project was abandoned shortly after. At least that is what the stories tell. I tried to find more info on this, but I was unable to. Was all of this a cover-up by the Soviet government, or is this just a story? What do you think? Something massive is about to surface.
Let it come up.
What the is that? Go!
I would be terrified as well if I was in a boat and saw that thing. Many claim this is an anaconda, and while they are known to be able to swim, they don't usually do that. The movement pattern matches large constrictors perfectly, but it does make you think about giant sea creatures as well. This footage bears striking similarity to historical accounts dating back centuries. In 1848, HMS Daedalus crew reported a 60-foot sea serpent that followed their ship, moving with identical undulating motions. Nordic legends described Jörmungandr, the world serpent that lived beneath the waves. What if these weren't myths, but encounters with creatures like the one in this video? Spotting something unusual on the ground? Sure, you can walk right up to it and see what's going on. But when something bizarre happens in the sky, that's a whole different story. Confusing, shocking, and downright mysterious. Like this video managed to capture.
Yo, what the f?
This clip went viral online, with many claiming it captured an unknown flying object sighting in broad daylight. The video shows the camera panning toward the sky, focusing on the clouds, when suddenly a black, bullet-like shadow zips between the clouds in a flash. This mysterious object seemed like the shadow of something massive flying above the clouds, and it was incredibly fast. You can even hear the onlookers reacting in shock, which adds authenticity and makes it hard to believe this was just computer-generated imagery. There could be many speculations about what this video captured. Some say it could be an unknown flying object, while others think there might be a more logical explanation. Perhaps a plane casting a shadow. But if it was a plane, why did it just vanish into the clouds and never reappear? This is a strange and intriguing capture, and I hope we get some answers soon. On foggy winter mornings, my mind used to wander, imagining what kinds of creatures might be lurking, hidden in the mist. It was just a playful thought, until I saw this video, which seems to bring those eerie imaginings to life. This video, uploaded to YouTube, shows a foggy morning scene in a field. The camera view starts out tense, with the cameraman seeming frantic and anxious as he pans around, clearly searching for something hidden in the fog. He suddenly starts running towards the field, pointing the camera at the sky, as if trying to catch a glimpse of something just out of sight. And then, after a tense moment of searching, he finds it, a massive, monstrous creature. The creature is long, with strange, hair-like appendages hanging down from its body. It moves through the air like a giant worm, its body resembling a centipede, giving off an almost otherworldly vibe. The cameraman, frozen in place, records this eerie sight until the creature finally disappears into the fog. Then, as if snapping out of a nightmare, he turns and runs in the opposite direction, clearly shaken by what he just witnessed. It's a scene straight out of a fever dream, like those surreal nightmares that linger in your mind long after you wake up, but don't let it get to you too much. It's most likely just an creation, probably using some kind of fog monster filter. Still, it's enough to give you a chilling visual of what those foggy creatures of the imagination might look like. Neighbor kids can sometimes be a handful. The noise, the mess, and the chaos. But this one decided to take things up a notch and give his neighbor nightmares.
You okay? Do your parents know you're out here?
This video was recorded by a homeowner who noticed something odd in their front yard. As they stepped outside with their camera, they spotted a kid dressed in a furry costume and wearing a creepy, goat-like face mask. The unsettling part? The kid was just standing there, blankly staring at the camera from behind a tree. He didn't move an inch, even as the homeowner got closer, which only added to the eerie vibe. From a distance, it almost looks like some kind of cryptid lurking among the trees. As creepy as this was, I have to admit, the blooming flowers in the yard are stunning. As for the kid, maybe his parents sent him out to play because they were tired of him standing in the corner, silently staring at them instead. While the conflict between Russia and Ukraine continues to dominate headlines, a recent video from a Ukrainian soldier hints at an even more extraordinary twist, otherworldly interest in the scene.
На месте стоит, ты ж бачиш.
А на месте, блядь, ну.
А в теплак ничего не світить? А, що не так?
Captured by a Ukrainian soldier from an aircraft, this footage shows something unusual hovering in the sky. As the camera zooms in, we see a disc-shaped object floating calmly in the open sky. The object doesn't move or fire any weapons, which left the soldier visibly puzzled. After initially observing the anomaly, the soldier decided to leave the area, only to find that the object had vanished upon their return. In a subsequent debrief with his battalion, the soldier described the unidentified object as massive, about the size of a 100-story building, roughly 400 meters in width and 100 meters in height. Despite struggling with strong winds in their aircraft, the object remained eerily stationary, seemingly unaffected by the harsh weather conditions. Thermal imaging revealed that the object was 20 to 30 degrees hotter than its surroundings. While the unknown flying object theory might seem plausible, it's worth considering a more grounded explanation, like a sophisticated Russian spy drone. Either way, this footage adds a chilling layer of mystery to an already intense situation. In the dead of night, when the world is fast asleep, something awakens in the forest. This chilling footage, captured deep within an Indian forest, reveals one such enigmatic entity. Is it a local legend come to life, or something far more sinister? Watch for yourself. This video was recorded by a local villager conducting a routine night check in the nearby woods. As the camera pans through the darkness, it captures a solitary figure standing eerily still among the trees. The creature's eyes, reflecting the camera's flash, lock onto the lens with a gaze that is both haunting and lifeless. After a few seconds, the figure extends its hands, beckoning the cameraman to come closer. The video abruptly ends, leaving a chilling sense of dread. The creature's outline vaguely resembles a human, but everything else about it is deeply unsettling. The way it stares directly into the camera is nothing short of nightmarish. According to the video's uploader, this entity is referred to as a Adamkor, which translates to cannibal in English. The thought of encountering something so sinister adds an even darker layer to this already terrifying footage. If you got so far in the video, it means you're a dedicated viewer. Thank you. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, I promise to keep posting these for you to enjoy. This video, captured in the dead of night, taps directly into the primal fear we have during the nights. This video, uploaded by a homeowner, reveals what might be lurking outside your window in the dead of night. In the footage, you can see a bizarre and creepy figure that vaguely resembles a dog, standing just outside the window, staring straight into the camera view. Calling it dog-like is a stretch, because this thing is anything but ordinary. It has these huge, haunting eyes and long, twisted arms that make your skin crawl. But those eyes, man, those eyes are the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. They pierce right through you, like they're peering into your soul. The fact that this creature just stands there, blankly staring into the camera, makes the whole clip 10 times more terrifying. Whatever this thing is, one thing's for sure. I'll be double-checking my locks tonight. Despite our best efforts, there are still countless secrets hidden within the depths of our forests. This next video, captured by a hiker, offers a glimpse into one such mystery that will leave you questioning what truly lurks in the woods. Did you catch that? The video you just saw was recorded by a hiker during a deep trek into an untouched forest. As he ventures further into the wilderness, it's clear from the camera movement that he's trying to capture something specific, waiting, almost anticipating. Then, out of nowhere, the reason for his focus reveals itself. A massive black figure peeks out from behind a distant tree. This creature was enormous. Even though we only caught a glimpse of its body, its sheer height and width were monstrous. As soon as the hiker spotted it, he bolted, and the video cuts off abruptly. So, what exactly did we just see? Those who've watched the video are convinced it was Bigfoot, pointing to the creature's towering height and dark fur as evidence. But with the limited angle and the brief appearance, it's hard to say for sure. What do you think? Was it really Bigfoot, or could it be something else entirely? As kids, many of us dreamed of encountering fantasy creatures like fairies and dragons. But as we grew older, we had to accept the harsh reality that these mystical beings were just products of our imagination. Or were they? This TikTok video, shared by a user, might just reignite your childhood wonder. It shows a mysterious hatching from a couple of peculiar eggs. Inside a glass-framed box, there's a strange, dragon-like baby that looks like it just emerged from one of the eggs. And if that wasn't enough to give you chills, there's another egg in the box, starting to hatch as well. The little creature has a lizard-like body, but its wings and those long, bent legs with sharp claws give off serious dragon vibes. Naturally, the internet is losing its collective mind, with people freaking out and screaming that dragons are real. But before you get too excited, let me burst that bubble for you. It's not real. Yep, I'm sorry to say, but what you're looking at is just an incredibly detailed art piece, made from clay by a skilled artist. I know, it's a bit of a letdown. But seriously, hats off to the creator. They did an amazing job, making it so realistic that it almost makes you wish dragons really existed. If you think tornadoes are terrifying, just wait until you see this wild tradition from an Afro-Brazilian religion called Umbanda. That's both scary and mesmerizing at the same time, right? This video was captured by a homeowner showing off a fascinating and somewhat eerie tradition that involves praying with a fire tornado. In the video, you can hear a religious chant taking place, and then suddenly, the floor is lit with fire. Within seconds, the flames spiral into a fast-spinning tornado, right there in the middle of the room. The fire shoots up, almost touching the ceiling, which looks downright dangerous. The way the flames twist and turn, it's like some kind of extraterrestrial force is controlling it. So, I did some digging and found an explanation from a firefighter. He mentioned that this kind of phenomenon isn't all that uncommon. Apparently, these mini-fire tornadoes happen when rising heat displaces the colder air around it, causing the flames to spin, especially if an accelerant is involved. So no supernatural forces at work here, just the laws of nature doing their thing. But still, doing that in a closed room, that's pretty dangerous if you ask me. People often say that animals, especially dogs, can see beyond our realm, that they have the ability to perceive spirits. I've always been a bit skeptical about that, until I came across this video uploaded by a dog owner. In this eerie footage, captured by a dog cam, you'll see a dog named Shiloh, whose best friend passed away just a few months ago, entering the house. But here's where things get really strange. As Shiloh approaches the door, she suddenly pauses and seems to allow a strange, white, dog-shaped mist to enter the house first. It's almost like she's waiting for something, or someone. The owner believes that Shiloh was letting her friend, the senior dog who recently passed, enter the house before her. They're convinced that this mist was the spirit of their departed pet, and that Shiloh is still interacting with her old friend, even in spirit form. What's really wild is that the camera view actually captured this misty figure so clearly. I have to admit, it gave me chills. I mean, I'm still a bit skeptical. It could just be a camera glitch, right? But then again, the way Shiloh waited for that mist to pass was pretty convincing. It makes you wonder if there's more to the world than what we can see. There are millions of species of bugs and insects crawling around our planet. Yet nature somehow continues to surprise us by adding more strange and bizarre creatures to its ever-growing collection. Just take a look at this. What on earth is that thing? This video comes from a Reddit user who stumbled upon a seriously strange creature crawling around their neighborhood. In the footage, you can see this alien-looking critter inching its way across the road. Its long body has a tree-like texture, with what looks like leaves on its tail and twigs sprouting from its back. The head resembles a bug, but the rest of it looks like a tiny, dried-up forest come to life. It's so eerie that it's almost as if this creature is an apprentice of some alien race. But despite its otherworldly appearance, this creepy crawler isn't from another planet. It's actually a known type of caterpillar called a bagworm caterpillar. These little guys are masters of disguise, creating a protective case, or bag, around themselves using silk and bits of plant material like leaves, twigs, or needles. This bag acts as camouflage, helping the caterpillar blend in with its surroundings and avoid predators. The one in the video seems to be a pro at this whole camouflage game because it's doing an incredible job of looking like a miniaturized forest. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. Sea monsters and their legends have been around for ages, with the Loch Ness Monster often stealing the spotlight. But recently, a video from South Africa has introduced a new contender in this race for the most terrifying creature of the deep. That's unbelievable. This video, recorded by a fisherman, was supposed to be just a casual day on the water at Harpies, but it took a terrifying turn. In the footage, you can see a fisherman rowing his small boat in the distance, with the water looking calm and peaceful. But then, out of nowhere, something happens. The fisherman suddenly gets sucked into the water as if an unseen force just yanked him down. And then the reason for it becomes horrifyingly clear. A massive giant snake emerges from the depths, swallowing the man whole before disappearing back into the water. The video cuts off there, but the terror it leaves behind lingers. It all happened so fast. 1 second the fisherman was rowing, and the next he was gone. It's absolutely terrifying to watch. But I have to admit, I'm a bit skeptical. To me, it looks like some clever editing. After the snake dives back into the water, the surface ripple waves look pretty fake. Like, if you look closely, they just don't seem right. The concept is chilling, but the execution. When everything shuts down and the world falls silent, what could be hiding in the darkness? What lurks in the shadows when no one's around? This eerie footage from an indoor basketball court might just give you the answers you didn't know you were afraid to ask. What you just saw was captured in an indoor basketball court as it was about to close, and it manages to record something truly unexplainable. The video starts with the court completely empty, no one around, not a sound, until suddenly a black smoke materializes out of thin air and begins hovering over the court. As it moves, the smoke morphs into a humanoid figure, and just as quickly as it appears, the video ends, leaving us with more questions than answers. This is seriously strange. That figure didn't look human at all. It started as this eerie, translucent, smoky mass before taking on a humanoid shape. And here's the thing, if this was some kind of editing trick, it was done incredibly well. The way the smoke blended with the surroundings, and how seamlessly it transitioned into the figure, it's hard to believe it's fake. We've all heard tales of Bigfoot and Yowies, but this video from a native burial ground might introduce us to a new beast that could give all of them a run for their money. The video you just watched was captured by a trail camera set up in a burial ground forest in April 2024. At first glance, it seems like just another recording of snow-covered woods. But hold on. Things take a wild turn. After a few seconds, something massive and black suddenly materializes in the distance on the trail. This creature looks like it's covered in thick black fur, and the way it towers over the nearby trees is nothing short of astonishing. Now, some might say it could be a gorilla or some other large ape, but here's the catch. There are no gorillas or apes in this region, not even close. And the sheer size and shape of this thing blow that theory out of the water. According to the uploader, this creature is known as Kiwakatan Wapiawe, or the Dark Forest Beast, to a local native band. It's said to haunt the sacred burial grounds, emerging from time to time to remind everyone of its presence. The video's existence raises questions about the nature of this mysterious creature and the possibility of other, unknown beings inhabiting our forests. Whatever it is, the Kiwakatan Wapaya Way is a terrifying reminder of the mysteries that still surround our natural world. As technology advances, features once considered fictional, such as self-driving cars, become a reality. While these advancements are impressive, they can also lead to unexpected and potentially eerie encounters. This video from a Tesla owner showcases a peculiar incident involving the car's sensors. The Tesla detected a group of people and a motorcycle on the roadside, but when the owner exited the vehicle, there was no one in sight. Instead, the owner found only a gravestone and a few bouquets. The owner initially believed the Tesla might have detected a ghostly presence. However, upon closer inspection, they discovered a small toy motorcycle on the gravestone, likely the source of the motorcycle detection. As for the A group of people, it appears the car might have mistaken the bouquets for individuals. So, Tesla, while it's impressive that your sensors are so sensitive, it looks like there's still some work to be done. Or maybe you're just ahead of the curve, preparing us for a future where spirits might be considered part of the traffic system too. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. Picture yourself on a sundown grocery run, cruising in your car when suddenly, everything becomes brilliantly bright, as if the sun has made an unexpected reappearance. However, the reality dawns on you. It's not the sun causing this intense illumination. This video originates from Russia and was captured by a car's dashcam. The footage reveals a strange, glowing light traversing the sky, gradually approaching the surface. As it descends, the light intensifies, illuminating everything below. According to news reports, this phenomenon was caused by a meteorite disintegrating upon entering Earth's atmosphere. The awareness that it was a meteorite adds an unsettling element to the video. Contemplating the potential consequences if the meteorite had struck the Earth's surface raises questions about the magnitude of destruction it could have caused. Thankfully, the meteorite disintegrated in the sky, preventing any catastrophic impact on the ground. This YouTube video, posted by a channel named Asia Wire, showcases an unusual humanoid baby with distinctive features that set it apart from a typical human infant. The baby in the video possesses hands and feet resembling those of an animal, along with a mouth adorned with two prominent fangs and strange ears. The footage, recorded by a woman, appears to be a demonstration of this creature, which could potentially be a prop for a creative project. While there's a possibility that this is a prop, its realistic appearance draws parallels to characters from fantasy films, such as those in The Lord of the Rings. Despite having some human-like features, the baby bears a striking resemblance to a Tasmanian devil, evident in its fangs, hands, feet, and even a tail. The question arises, is this a hybrid between a Tasmanian devil and a human, or is it simply a prop designed for a movie project? There's a common belief that if you live near woods and hear strange screams for help at night, it's best to call the police because some person might be in trouble. However, that is not always the case. A homeowner recently uploaded a video on Facebook capturing the eerie noises emanating from the nearby woods. Intrigued, he ventured out to investigate further, only to discover that the voices sounded like a human yelling for help, but accompanied by unsettling growls. Some viewers suggested the possibility of skinwalkers, beings known for transforming into other living forms to deceive and lure unsuspecting individuals. It is also especially known that skinwalkers try to imitate voices. However, they are not very good at it. Just listen again. In such a situation, the best course of action is to call the police, allowing trained professionals to assess and handle the situation appropriately. Ever heard of the Michigan monster legend, the Dog Man? Well, if you haven't, this video is about to give you a glimpse of what it's like to have one in your area. The footage shows a street, and the guy eagerly zooms in on something in the distance. You can clearly see there's this dog-like creature jumping around in a really strange way. As the creature leaps, you can see its legs and arms, which look like a mix between a human and a dog. According to the guy recording, this creature appeared to be on the hunt in the neighborhood, making all kinds of scary sounds.
Fuck is that?
I used to think that dogmen were just myths, but after watching this video, I've got to admit, it's adding another thing to my to fear list. The video originates from an explorer who frequently delves into abandoned structures in forested areas. During one such exploration, he encountered an abandoned cottage-like house in the heart of the forest. Before entering, he recorded the surroundings of the house. However, upon reviewing the footage later, he made a chilling discovery, something peeking through the side windows of the house. The explorer initially missed this during the exploration, as it was concealed in the darkness. Upon freezing the frame and zooming in, it becomes apparent that the entity is a tall, humanoid creature. Unfortunately, the obscured appearance and lack of facial features make it challenging to discern more details. The eerie aspect is that this creature was present in an abandoned house deep within the dense forest. The motives of this mysterious creature remain unknown. Its presence raises questions about why it would choose to stay in such an isolated and abandoned location. The unsettling nature of the discovery adds an element of mystery to the explorer's adventure. Caring for the elderly often involves a comforting routine of quiet nights and familiar rhythms. But for one caregiver, what should have been another peaceful night took a chilling turn that could have come straight out of a horror movie. This eerie video, uploaded on TikTok, comes from a user who claims to be the caregiver for an elderly woman who had been unable to walk for 2 years. One night, as the caregiver drifted off to sleep, she left her phone recording by accident. What it captured is the stuff of nightmares. The room is dimly lit, with the TV casting shadows, and the caregiver is fast asleep. At some point, she turns over in her sleep, causing the phone to fall, its camera view now eerily focused on the doorway. As the phone shifted, it captured a horrifying scene of the elderly woman who was believed to be unable to walk, standing at the doorway. She just stands there, watching, as if silently stalking the sleeping caregiver. The tension builds as the old woman remains motionless, her presence casting a heavy, sinister vibe over the scene. Then, without warning, she bolts towards the camera, and the video cuts off, leaving us with more questions than answers. How is this possible? Was she faking her condition all this time? Or are we dealing with something far more disturbing? Is she even human? It's hard not to shudder at the thought of what might have happened next. The duties of night shift nurses often differ drastically from those of their daytime counterparts. The daytime shifts are bustling with activity, but at night it's just a handful of us, the darkness, and, well, sometimes things that shouldn't be there.
Váyanse de aquí, ahorita voy a prender un incienso. Se les acabó el chistecito.
Did you catch that? This video was uploaded by a couple of night shift nurses who accidentally recorded something, or someone that wasn't supposed to be there. In the clip, they're casually recording the hospital's waiting hall. Everything seems normal at first, but then the nurse pans the camera to a shadowy corner. And that's when it gets unsettling. There, standing in the dark, is a figure. It has a humanoid appearance, like an old man hunched over as if time itself has weighed down on him. But here's the creepy part. The nurses, including the one holding the camera, swear they didn't notice anyone standing there at the time. It's only when they reviewed the footage that they saw this mysterious figure. So, who or what is this? Maybe it's just a patient waiting for assistance. But then again, why would they be lurking in that dark corner, unnoticed by everyone? The whole thing is pretty strange, don't you think? It's enough to make you wonder what really happens during those quiet, shadowy hours of the night shift. The concept of the firmament, also known as heaven in various religions, is something people either believe in or dismiss as myth. However, this TikTok video, uploaded by a user claiming to have captured a rare sight, might just offer some intriguing proof.
I'm looking at the reflection of the sun in the water right now, and you see there's like a rainbow around it. Does anyone else see that? There's a huge rainbow just going around the sun.
In this TikTok clip, the user shares what they claim is their first real-life sighting of a sun halo, caught on camera. The video shows the sun surrounded by a stunning, colorful ring that resembles a rainbow. The sun itself also looks a bit different, but it's that vibrant ring that really enhances the scene's beauty. The clip has sparked a flurry of debate in the comments, with some viewers suggesting it's evidence of the firmament from biblical texts, while others argue it's just a sundog, caused by the refraction of sunlight through ice crystals. In reality, it appears to be more of a sun halo, which occurs when light refracts off ice crystals in a thin layer of cirrus clouds, forming a ring around the sun or moon. Who would have thought that the secret to staying warm in freezing temperatures could be something as unconventional as glass slag and work gloves?
Work gloves off and your hands do this.
In this video, a glass factory worker shows us his unique method for keeping warm while working in bitterly cold conditions. He explains that, despite the freezing temperatures outside, he has a special ally in the form of glass slag. As he pulls off his work gloves, the real magic happens. Smoke starts billowing from his hands, as if he's got some kind of superpower. The smoke is actually a result of his body's natural heat and moisture interacting with the frigid air. It's a fascinating visual of how your body produces warmth, even when surrounded by extreme cold. It's like watching your own personal engine at work. Work can definitely drag sometimes, especially when you're stuck without a break. But imagine if you had an invisible friend to keep things interesting, like this worker experienced in a hospital.
Comenzó a contarla porque me quería sábana. Entonces he visto hueso y estoy recordando la sábana, se me abre la puerta y ya yo arrancó.
In this spine-chilling video, we're looking at security camera footage from a hospital laundry room where a worker had an unsettling encounter. The footage shows the staff reviewing the camera feed, which captures the worker moving through the laundry room with his cart. While he's busy sorting laundry, the cart suddenly starts moving on its own. The worker doesn't notice the cart's eerie movement until the door swings open by itself, startling him so much that he bolts out of the room. It's both creepy and baffling. After this unsettling experience, it might be time for the worker to consider finding a new job, especially if it looks like the invisible force might be gunning for his position. You might have heard of the vengeful ghost of La Llorona, said to wander near bodies of water, mourning the children she drowned in a fit of jealous rage against her husband. This video claims to have captured her in real life. Uploaded on TikTok, this video purports to show actual footage of La Llorona. The scene appears to be a dimly lit parking lot, where, in the distance, a large mass of fabric is seen lying on the ground. Suddenly, the fabric begins to move, revealing what looks like a figure draped in a long cloak. The figure then walks away, with the sound of barking dogs echoing in the background. While some viewers insist this is La Llorona herself, others argue that it could easily be a prank or a staged video designed to attract attention. It's plausible that someone is simply wearing a long piece of fabric to mimic the ghostly appearance. Regardless of its authenticity, seeing this on a dark street alone at night would undoubtedly be enough to send chills down anyone's spine. Ever wondered about those mysterious cave-like holes scattered all over the steep side of a canyon and thought, who on earth created those? This video will clear up all your confusion, and with a surprising twist, in this clip, a mountain goat seems to be casually chilling in its little cave. Nothing out of the ordinary, until the cameraman zooms out. As the view expands, it reveals that this cave is perched thousands of feet above the ground, high up on a canyon face. The zoom out also uncovers thousands of similar small caves dotting the cliffside. It's pretty amazing to see how these goats can reach such extreme places and make them their home. Mountain goats are equipped with specially adapted hooves that help them grip narrow ledges and steep inclines. Their hooves have a soft, rubbery outer layer for traction and a hard inner core for stability. These cave-like structures are more than just cozy homes. They also provide a strategic advantage by helping the goats avoid predators. After all, who would dare climb that high just to hunt them? I used to be a skeptic when it came to aliens and UFOs, dismissing most of the videos online as fakes. However, this footage from Cuba has me reconsidering my stance.
Esto como un extraterrestre, algo así.
This video, captured in Cuba, has left many people astonished by what the cameraman managed to film. The footage reveals an unusual object in the sky with a bizarre design, two wing-like structures, and a central glowing body that's continuously rotating, much like the spacecrafts we see in science fiction movies. The whole thing looks like a high-tech construct, almost as if it's from an advanced alien civilization. Given the video's quality, it doesn't seem likely to be computer-generated imagery. It appears to blend seamlessly into the real-world setting. While one might argue it could be a drone, I've never seen a drone quite like this before. This footage has certainly given me pause, and makes me wonder if there's more to these unknown flying object sightings than meets the eye. This video hails from Ireland and presents eerie footage of a cryptid captured at a girls' hostel. In the video, we witness the girls behind the camera genuinely frightened, searching the hallways for something ominous. As they turn on the hallway lights, There is initially nothing in sight. Undeterred, they venture upstairs into the darkness. Upon turning on the hallway light upstairs, something chilling appears at the end of the corridor. The encounter is undeniably unsettling, and by pausing the video at the precise frame where the creature is visible, it appears humanoid, but on all fours. This cryptid is looking directly at the girls, conveying an imminent threat. Given such situations, my advice for all of you would be to bring along some form of protection, such as a stick or pepper spray during future investigations. You never know what you might encounter. Encountering something unknown or strange can be unsettling, but being stalked by it takes fear to a whole new level. In this video from a hiker, we get a glimpse of distant bushes with something lurking within. This mysterious creature keeps peeking its head out, observing and following the cameraman's every move. From its appearance, the creature seems quite humanoid, with an all-white body. When it peeks, we notice it has no hair and lacks typical human features, except for its nose, ears, and eyes. The creature also appears tall, easily peering over the tall bushes. It's genuinely frightening to witness something unknown, especially when you can't identify it at first. Towards the end of the video, the creature reveals itself to the hiker, causing the hiker to startle and quickly bolt away from the scene. For more strange and interesting footage, check this out. From the haunting lost footage capturing a family's mysterious final moments, to eerie photos that seem to prove the existence of the unknown, and even chilling evidence of the horrors lurking in the Appalachian Mountains. These are some of the most unsettling moments ever recorded. Stick around because you won't want to miss a single one. Most seasoned hunters think they know the woods like the back of their hand, until reality rips through that illusion, just like it did for this hunter. This chilling image was shared on X by the Rocky Mountain Sasquatch organization, and it's been shaking the entire hunting community to its core. The photo was originally posted on their blog, accompanied by a haunting story from Pennsylvania that's hard to ignore. Back in 1990, a 17-year-old hunter was deep in the woods when he heard a gut-wrenching cry. Thinking it was a deer caught in a trap, he followed the sound. But what he found wasn't a deer. It was something that shattered his sense of reality. According to his account, it was a 4-foot-tall Bigfoot caught in a cruel metal trap. At first, he was terrified and turned to run, but then he heard a soft, pained whimper, and something inside him broke. He went back and freed her. She slowly walked away, then turned and stared directly into his soul. That look, filled with shame and sorrow, shattered everything he thought he knew about the world. Now a police officer, he says it wasn't the creature that took his innocence. It was the realization that the world is far stranger than we let ourselves believe. While the story describes this Bigfoot trapped in an animal trap, there's also an actual Bigfoot trap in the Oregon forest, built in 1974 by Bigfoot hunters. This highlights their firm belief in Bigfoot and suggests something significant prompted them to create such a trap. Some might brush this off as just another animal rescue tale dressed up in folklore. But the image of a Bigfoot trapped, combined with the existence of that Oregon trap, forces us to consider, what if they really exist? Personally, if the officer is telling the truth, this isn't just a Bigfoot story. It's a glimpse into a hidden reality most of us aren't ready to face. There's nothing more chilling than discovering someone's final moments caught on camera, but this one hits a whole other level of dread. This clip was uploaded to Instagram by a page called Chilling Archives, a fitting name since they specialize in sharing eerie, lost footage from around the world. but the one they posted on May 16th crawls right under your skin. It starts off innocent. A family is out enjoying a quiet picnic in what looks like a peaceful park. The father is filming his wife and young daughter, capturing what should have been just another happy memory. But then, things take a turn. Out of nowhere, the daughter stiffens. She stands up slowly, with her gaze locked on something behind her father. You can see the panic building on her face. As the dad begins to turn the camera toward whatever she's seeing, it slips from his hands. The camera hits the ground, still recording, lens tilted upward toward the sky. For a few seconds, it just lies there, silent, eerie, almost like the person holding it has vanished. And then, right before the video cuts out, something moves into frame. A large, black, furry creature, growling like a wild beast, stomps past the camera. That's where it ends. Now, here's where things get even more unsettling. It looks wild, and honestly, it might be AI generated. These days, even the most terrifyingly realistic videos can be created from just a prompt. But then, there was this one comment. A user named Interstellar Dancer claimed this is real, that the creature was a bear, and this clip is actually the last known footage of that family. According to them, neither the mother nor the daughter survived. They say the video is 15 years old and only recently resurfaced. I tried digging into it, looked for news, reports, anything, found nothing concrete. But then again, maybe that's the whole point. While revisiting a cherished family party photo, a couple uncovered something so shocking that it even broke their crippling gambling addiction.
There's the good on the right-hand side of me, and there's the evil on the left-hand side.
It looks like a dog, but Joe says
it was a demon.
This clip was posted on Reddit as well as Instagram, and it captures the chilling moment when a couple discovered pure horror hidden in plain sight. As Joe Martinez was reviewing an old family party photo, he noticed something that absolutely shouldn't be there.
I really thought, I said, man, you're really walking with Satan.
The photo was taken at his in-laws' anniversary party, and the terrifying part about it was that something was lurking right over Joe Martinez's shoulder. Joe, at one point, was battling a hidden drug addiction, spiraling into darkness. But after seeing this photo, everything changed. Over his shoulder was something that looked like it had crawled straight out of hell. A creature, dog-like in shape, but demonic in presence, looming behind him, almost as if it was trying to push him deeper into evil. His wife believed it was Satan himself, caught in that exact moment, as a symbolic manifestation of the evil poisoning Joe's life. Terrified, Joe quit drugs completely and never touched them again. Today, he carries that photo in his wallet, not just as a warning, but as proof of the battle between light and darkness that once raged inside him. The image has since captivated paranormal investigators and internet sleuths alike. Even the Rocky Mountain Paranormal Society admitted this one left them baffled. According to them, 90% of the cases they receive have logical explanations. But this one stands apart. There's no follow-up evidence, no clear origin, just that one haunting image. Solo camping promises freedom and serenity until the darkness reveals a horror that makes you swear off the wilderness forever. This bone-chilling video, shared on Instagram, captures the raw terror of a lone camper's night in the woods. The footage begins, innocently enough, with the camper filming himself filling a bottle with well water, until something catches his eye that shakes him to his core. In a panic, the camper grabs his camera and swings it toward the jungle, revealing the source of his dread. A strange black figure, standing motionless, staring directly at him. Its pale, ghostly white face is visible against a jet black body, as if the darkness itself had taken form. This is no animal, no human. It's something beyond comprehension. The camper's gasping scream pierces the silence as he fumbles to capture the creature on film before bolting for his life. This scene feels ripped straight from a nightmare. The way the creature stands, its unblinking gaze locked on the camper, is nothing short of horrifying. One thing's for sure, after watching this, the thought of solo camping might never cross your mind again. Who knows when a shadowy figure like this might decide to pay you a visit? This mom took her daughter to McDonald's, but what she found in the photos afterward, it's the kind of thing that haunts you for life. This was posted in the weird subreddit by a user named CreepyFacts9, and it comes from a mother who took her little girl to McDonald's for a fun day out. Everything seemed normal. Happy meals, giggles, and a few snapshots of her daughter playing on the slide. But when she reviewed those photos later that night, something was off. In one of the pictures, through the transparent side of the slide, the mom spotted a face, but not just any face. It had an unnerving, almost demonic smile, and it appeared to be peering in from outside the tube, watching her. According to her, no one else was there at the time, and she didn't see anything unusual in person. But the photo told a different story. And as creepy as that was, it gets even worse. When she asked her daughter if she knew who or what that was, the little girl casually replied that it's Beto, her imaginary friend. Yeah, imaginary friend. The mom has been terrified ever since. Commenters were split. Some say it's just another viral fake for clout, but others, they're getting serious heebie-jeebies, especially from the girl's calm reaction. If my little brother ever says his imaginary friend has a name like Beto, I'm grabbing my bag and moving out immediately. A nursery teacher sent a sweet photo of a child playing pretend grocery store, but what the mom saw in the background made her rush to get her child. These photos were uploaded online, and at first glance, they seem completely innocent. A group of toddlers playing pretend. One is a cashier, the others pushing tiny carts, shopping for plastic food. Classic cute nursery moment, right? But take a closer look, because that's not what caught everyone's attention. Behind the little cashier, just off to the side of the play shelves, there's something else. A tall, shadowy figure, standing completely still. It looks like a soldier in a ghillie suit, or maybe something far worse. You can barely make out what it's doing, but it seems to be fiddling with the shelf, almost as if it's pretending to shop too. According to the nursery teacher, there was no one else in the room when the photo was taken. She swears this thing wasn't there. The mom didn't wait to ask questions. The moment she saw the picture, she went straight to the nursery and took her son home. And honestly, can't blame her, because when you look closely, this figure doesn't match anything you'd expect in a nursery. Long limbs, strange greenish color, what looks like tangled hair or moss, and a shape that just feels off. It almost looks like some abstract forest creature casually doing a bit of shopping. In a preschool, I don't know what this thing is, and I've tried. My brain just can't make sense of it, so I'm throwing it to you guys. There's a saying that you're never truly alone in the Appalachian Mountains, and this video might just prove it. This video went viral online because it captures exactly what the Appalachian Mountains are infamous for. It was recorded by a homeowner living deep in the region. One night, he was alone and heard a strange noise outside, so he started recording. What he captured next is pure nightmare fuel. As he panned the camera toward the glass door, a horrifying face can be seen lurking inside, almost like it's staring straight into your soul. Everything else is shrouded in darkness, but that pale, creepy face is just barely peeking through, haunting, unsettling, and deeply disturbing. And this isn't an isolated incident. There are countless other clips online showing people who feel like they're being watched or followed by something out there. One YouTuber also experienced that exact feeling, like footsteps trailing him through the woods.
I kept an eye on him, and I evaded him the same way I did the other 5 guys that were following me. He was giving me some bad vibes.
This is exactly why the Appalachian Mountains are a big nope for most people. Let's be honest, none of us wants to get stalked by some creepy cryptid. Next, we have a discovery that might shake your beliefs about everything you thought you knew about history. In a find that blurs the line between ancient myth and recorded history, researchers have unearthed a 4,000-year-old clay tablet from Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, that tells a hauntingly familiar story. What sets this artifact apart isn't just its age or preservation, but the shocking detail it contains: instructions for building a massive, circular boat designed to survive a divine flood, with animals entering 2 by 2. The images show ancient Sumerian tablets held by Irving Finkel, alongside an artistic rendering of a round ark battling a stormy sea. This discovery is spine-chilling in the best way. Holding that small, cracked tablet is like holding a forgotten version of our shared past, one that predates the Bible, yet whispers the same warnings. Whether you see it as mythology, parallel storytelling, or ancient truth twisted by time, it's hard not to feel a deep sense of wonder. It makes you ask, were the ancients trying to tell us something all along, and we just weren't listening? Ever accidentally caught something on camera that you instantly regretted seeing? Well, this video is exactly that. This video was uploaded to Instagram and has completely confused the entire community. It was filmed in a remote, unidentified location where a worker is seen casually cleaning up an area while dozens of vultures surround him. But once you realize the reason they're there, that's when it gets truly terrifying. As the video goes on, the man, who appeared to just be tidying up, suddenly lifts a skeleton off the ground and starts breaking it apart. At first, it seems like it could be animal bones. Vultures are scavengers after all. But then comes the chilling realization: it's not an animal, it's a human skeleton. The worker calmly picks up the skeleton and begins breaking it down like it's just another day at work, while the vultures lurk around him, almost like they're waiting for him to serve up something. But the horrifying question is, what and from where? Everything about this looks wrong. The vultures, the skeleton, the eerie setting, and what's worse, the identity of the location and the person filming remains unknown. It seems like the cameraman was hiding, possibly recording from a safe distance, which only makes this whole shady scene feel disturbingly real. But honestly, I can't stop wondering, what would have happened if that worker had spotted the camera? This next photo was taken by a father while his kids were looking over the fence, but when he reviewed it later, things took a terrifying turn. The image was uploaded to Reddit by the original poster, who was desperate to know what the mysterious face in the background could be. In the photo, we see 3 kids standing on a bench, peering over the fence into the neighbor's garden. At first glance, nothing seems off until you zoom in and uncover the horror. Right there, zoomed in between the heads of 2 kids, you can see a chilling, ghost-like humanoid face staring straight back at the camera. The face looks pale and dreadful, and its eyes are shining, likely reflecting the flash from the camera. Now the internet is in full speculation mode. Some people believe it's a real spirit, possibly a deceased family member, especially since the house is reportedly near a cemetery. But skeptics think it's just a trick of light, a hoax, or maybe even a person accidentally caught in the shot. But here's the thing, even if it was a living person, human eyes don't shine like that. We don't have the tapetum lucidum, the membrane that causes that reflective glow. So whatever that is, it ain't human. In 2015, a mother and daughter took what looked like an innocent photo to upload on Facebook, but something about it just wasn't right. A Redditor by the name of Improper Forum uploaded several images to the Paranormal Encounters subreddit, asking for answers. One of the photos he shared was of his aunt and cousin, taken back in 2015 at their home. According to him, there should have only been the two of them in the picture, but someone else was standing right behind them. Even creepier, the photo was taken on Whidbey Island, Washington, a place that, according to local history, was once a burial ground for native tribes for centuries. Now, viewers are saying, this doesn't look like any ordinary woman. Many believe it resembles a ghostly figure, possibly a spirit tied to the land. And honestly, finding something like that years later, that's a whole different level of fear, the kind that might never let you sleep peacefully again. This guy's friend sent them a picture of her just chilling on the couch, but there's something weird in the photo with her. The photo was uploaded to the Ghost subreddit by a user claiming it came from her friend, who was relaxing at her old house, a place described as very old and possibly haunted. She snapped the picture without thinking much, until they noticed what was lurking in the background. In the photo, you can see her dog staring directly at what appears to be a shadowy figure. The shadow has a humanoid shape, particularly the legs, while the upper half seems to blend into the night sky. The way it's positioned makes it feel like it's trying to intimidate or confront the dog. According to the uploader, they trust their friend and insist she doesn't know how to edit photos. But if you ask me, while the image does look eerie, it shows clear signs of long exposure photography. The bluish light, the graininess, and the color noise all point to high ISO settings in a low light environment. What likely happened is this: someone briefly held the dog. You can even spot a faint hand on its head, then moved away while the photo was still being captured, leaving behind a blurry, ghost-like figure. The strange shadows and light flares are consistent with motion blur and exposure artifacts. Still, without access to the original image file and its metadata, we can't say for sure, and that lingering mystery is what makes this photo so haunting. This next photo, from 5 years ago, might completely terrify your perspective on mirrors. This image was posted on the Ghost subreddit, reportedly shared by the original uploader's ex-girlfriend from Malacca, Malaysia. She had sent the photo in her family group chat just to let them know she reached the hotel safely, but it was her brother who noticed something very wrong with the mirror. At first glance, it just looks like a normal scene, someone relaxing, maybe watching TV. But when you look closely into the mirror, that's when things go seriously wrong. Reflected in the mirror is the ghostly face of a woman staring directly into the camera. The face looks unnervingly demonic, almost as if it's angry about the girl staying in that room. Naturally, the woman was terrified and immediately requested a room change. I mean, if something like that showed up in my hotel room mirror, my trip would definitely be memorable, but not for any good reason. It's deeply unsettling how something as normal as a mirror can hide a terrifying presence. If you're thinking about visiting the retired Queen Mary for a thrilling adventure, this next photo might just change your mind. The Queen Mary, once a grand ocean liner, was officially retired after her final voyage in 1967. But she wasn't completely abandoned. Instead, she's become a major attraction in Long Beach, California, and, more importantly, a hotspot for paranormal rumors. But this photo might just prove those rumors in the creepiest way possible. About 2 years ago, a user by the name Refrigerator Stock 847 uploaded a chilling post on the paranormal subreddit. It featured a photo his friend took on board the Queen Mary in March of 2010. But it wasn't the pool he wanted him to see. It was what was standing in the doorway behind it. In the picture, we see an eerie, empty pool, but in the background, standing in the doorway, is a pale, ghostly figure, a woman dressed in white, long hair falling over her shoulders. When zoomed in, you'll notice her face is hidden in the darkness, almost like she doesn't want to be seen. According to the friend, they were completely alone on the ship at the time. So who or what was that woman? And it's not just a one-off encounter. Another Reddit user shared their experience after spending a night aboard the Queen Mary. They reported strange events, things going missing, and waking up the next morning feeling an unexplained heaviness, like something was watching them all night. What's even stranger is that most of the ghost stories linked to the Queen Mary focus on a little girl named Jackie, a spirit said to haunt the first-class pool after drowning in the second-class one. So this mysterious woman in a white dress, she's a total anomaly. If you think your friend photobombing was annoying, wait until you see what happened to these friends. This photo was uploaded by a user named OutrageousLab2224 and quickly grabbed the attention of paranormal enthusiasts everywhere. In the image, we see 3 people posing for a silly photo, but according to the uploader, it was supposed to be just 2 friends, the 2 girls. That third face, it shouldn't be there. This was taken back in 2003, which makes it difficult to write off as Photoshop. Back then, creating an edit that matches the exact texture, lighting, and grain of the original photo would have been incredibly hard. So, if it's not an edit, then what or who is that creepy third person? Let me know down in the comments if you have any idea what that face might be, because honestly, that's not just a photobomb. That's a straight-up paranormal intrusion.
We've all tried some pretty unconventional dishes while traveling through different cultures and countries. But have you ever considered tasting a mutated alien bird? What in the world is this? This video was shared by an anonymous user on X, showcasing some seriously creepy cooking skills. In the video, we see a bizarre creature sizzling away in a frying pan, and it's enough to give anyone nightmares. From the bottom, it looks like some sort of bird, but when you get to the face, things take a terrifying turn. It has 2 disturbingly human-like eyes, and its mouth, don't even get me started. It looks like something straight out of a monster movie. I honestly can't even begin to figure out what on earth this creature could be. Is it some kind of mutated bird? An alien experiment gone wrong? Your guess is as good as mine. If you have any idea what this guy is cooking, please let the rest of us know down in the comments, because this is one mystery that needs solving. In the dead of night, when shadows dance and secrets whisper, a security camera in La Union was wide awake, ready to capture something truly spine-chilling in a house's garage. What on earth was that? This footage comes straight from a home security camera, recording an utterly bizarre encounter under the cover of darkness. At first glance, it looks like a humanoid figure, but trust me, when you take a closer look, it's anything but human. This creature is unnervingly slender, with a hunched back that would make even the bravest among us shiver. And the speed. Oh, it's fast, almost unnaturally so. There's no way this could be a person. The camera barely caught a glimpse of this thing as it slinked through the garage, and let me tell you, even if it was a human, what in the world would they be doing skulking around in a garage at that hour? The whole situation is downright creepy. The Soviet Union was a period of significant scientific advancement, but it also witnessed some deeply disturbing experiments. One such project, carried out by a so-called mad scientist, was nothing short of an abomination. What you're seeing isn't a trick. It's the result of a Soviet experiment from 1950, a 2-headed dog created by Demikov. He took a German shepherd named Brodyaga and a smaller dog named Shavka, using Brodyaga as the host and attaching Shavka's head and neck. The procedure was nightmarish. Shavka's lower body was amputated, and her upper body was attached to Brodiaga's neck. The surgery involved intricate vascular reconstruction and stitching their vertebrae together with plastic strings, taking just 3.5 hours. Once brought back to life, both heads could see, hear, and eat. Shavka's head could even drink, though what she drank spilled out through a tube, as she wasn't connected to Brodiaga's stomach. These poor creatures lived for 4 agonizing days before a damaged vein ended their lives. Incredibly, one of Demikov's 2-headed dogs survived for 29 days. This disturbing experiment serves as a chilling reminder of the extreme lengths the Soviet regime went to in the name of scientific progress, pushing the boundaries of ethics and humanity to terrifying extremes.
What I also want to add here is that these research ideas have surfaced again in our recent days, but in different forms. With the advancement of neuroscience and robotics, people are thinking of merging human bodies with robotic bodies through brain-computer interfaces. As creepy as science can sometimes be, maybe this will be something important in the future, especially for paralyzed people.
While fake horror videos can often be dismissed with a sigh of relief, this one is a different story. Even though it's entirely fictional, this chilling clip depicting a supposed Skeep 96 containment chamber will leave you with nightmares. This unsettling footage, uploaded to YouTube, presents what looks like a grim Skeep 96 containment chamber. Barely furnished with just a bed and some ominous red liquid smeared on the floor. The madness escalates as it hunches behind the bed and shoves it aside, only to collapse on the floor in a fit of erratic behavior. Although it's all computer-generated imagery, the very thought of the mind behind this creation is enough to give you nightmares. Even knowing it's fake, I can't help but hope that whatever nightmare this video conjures up stays firmly locked away in that room where it belongs. We all loved the Black Panther movie. The hidden world of Wakanda in Africa was nothing short of spectacular, and the concept of vibranium powering it all was incredibly cool. But what if I told you that this concept might have a real-world counterpart? Well, sort of. In this video, a YouTuber showcases some truly strange stones they found in Congo. Stones that apparently have the ability to store electricity. These stones bear an uncanny resemblance to the fictional vibranium from the Black Panther movie. The YouTuber demonstrates this power by touching 2 of the stones together, causing a spark to ignite. Even more astonishingly, the stones generate enough voltage to perform welding tasks. The potential implications of such a discovery are profound. If these stones could truly solve the world's energy crisis, it would be a game changer. However, a wave of skepticism has arisen surrounding these so-called vibranium-like stones. While some stones are known to conduct electricity, there's no concrete evidence that any can store it. If this were a genuine breakthrough, it would undoubtedly be making headlines globally. So, while the video is undeniably intriguing, the fact that someone is using these rocks for welding remains puzzling. Is this a genuine scientific breakthrough or just an elaborate hoax? Either way, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. This next video is something straight out of a deep-sea horror story. It comes from a group of Indonesian fishermen who hauled in a catch that looks like it came from another world entirely.
Guys, ada saya punya taripang. Ini penam taripang nanas. Jadi pemodel itu kayak nanas guys, kami lihat.
In the footage, a female fisherman proudly presents this bizarre creature they pulled from their net. From the moment you lay eyes on it, you know something's off. This thing has a long, leathery body with no clear signs of fins, arms, legs, or even a tail. It's just this elongated, mysterious mass. Its skin has a bumpy, almost wrinkled texture, and it's huge, especially when you compare it to the girl standing next to it. She then places it on a table and flips it over to reveal its underside, which looks like, well, like a carpet. And just when you think it can't get any weirder, she shows us its mouth. And that's when things go from strange to downright eerie. I was scratching my head, trying to figure out what on earth this creature could be. Thankfully, after some internet sleuthing, I discovered that this unsettling specimen is actually a sea cumber. Who knew, right? The texture, shape, and color all match up with what we know about these fascinating, if somewhat unsettling, sea creatures. Sea cucumbers have long, cylindrical bodies, and many species have this bumpy, almost hairy appearance that makes them look like something out of a science fiction movie. I never thought I'd be this creeped out by something named after a vegetable, but here we are. The ocean really is full of surprises. If you got so far in the video, it means you're a dedicated viewer. Thank you. And if you subscribe and hit the bell button, I promise to keep posting these for you to enjoy. There are countless videos floating around the internet, each claiming to capture an unknown flying object soaring through the sky. But how many of them are genuinely believable? Well, here's one that's certainly worth a second look.
La verdad es que no se puede apreciar, voy a tratar de... Ya se fue, ya lo perdí.
Let me tell you, it's pretty weird. This thing looks like a giant flower-shaped piñata hovering in the sky. People were freaking out, thinking it was some kind of alien threat. Now, I'm all for a good conspiracy theory, but I'm leaning towards the idea that this might be a drone or some kind of costume kite. Modern drones come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, after all. But again, the size of this thing. It looks either really huge and far away, or it's quite small and close, like just a drone. The ambiguity of its size leaves us with more questions than answers. Whatever it is, it's definitely strange. And it's got me wondering, what else is out there? Ever find yourself wondering what the monsters in your sleep paralysis, nightmares might actually look like? Brace yourself. Late night shifts are usually quiet, like the world above is deep in sleep while you're grinding away for those bucks. But it's in those still, silent hours when the unexpected and bizarre tends to creep up, just like what happened to this guy.
Then the guy started whistling and walking towards my friend.
This video comes from a TikTok user whose friend had a strange and terrifying encounter during his night shift. In the clip, we see him in the basement of his store, wearing a headlamp lighting his way. But then, as he pans the camera ahead, the horror reveals itself. An old, creepy man is walking toward him in that dark, empty basement hallway. According to the friend, this old man came out of nowhere, whistling and walking towards him with no apparent reason or explanation. Totally freaked out, the friend carefully backs away as the unknown man continues to approach him. He keeps backing up, terrified, until the video cuts off. It's like something straight out of a horror movie. Where on earth did this old man come from? Had he been living down there all along? Or even worse, was he even human? This is the stuff nightmares are made of. If you're looking to unwind and breathe deeply, I highly recommend a nice, refreshing hike. But always stay alert. This eerie video comes from June 2011 in Norway, where a hiker claims to have captured footage of two alien creatures lurking in the jungle. As the video begins, we see a foggy, dense forest. The cameraman zooms in, and in the distance, a mysterious figure starts to take shape within the mist. Then, as he pans the camera to the side, another similar figure appears. When the video is zoomed in and slowed down, the figures become even more intriguing. They resemble hunched human forms, but the pronounced hunch and the head shape are distinctly alien, eerily similar to the stereotypical alien images we've all seen online. The thick fog and grainy video quality obscure many details, but what we can see looks exactly like how you'd imagine an extraterrestrial to look. So what do you think? Is this just a trick of the light, or could these figures be something out of this world? This video was also uploaded to a Facebook page called Unreal AI, and it claims to show an alien monster lurking in a lake. What we see is truly unsettling. The camera view captures the serene surface of the lake, but just beneath, a massive creature with an alien-like head and body emerges. The way it peers out, staring directly into the camera, is the stuff of nightmares. And just when you think it couldn't get any creepier, as the video nears its end, the creature suddenly flips back into the water, only to resurface with its head now enormous and practically in our face. It's the kind of eerie moment that stays with you. But before you lose your mind, here's the catch. This isn't real. It's a generated video. Still, the fact that we can conjure up something so terrifying is pretty concerning. If artificial intelligence can create things like this, what's next? It definitely gives you something to think about. On an ordinary Saturday morning, in March 2014, something extraordinary happened when a trail cam known as Leachman's Tree Cam captured a video that's now causing quite a buzz on the internet. Take a look for yourself. Did you see that? This footage comes straight from Leachman's Tree Cam, and it appears to have captured a real-life yowie casually strolling through the jungle. In the video, you can spot a small creature swaying side to side, all caught in the eerie glow of the camera's night vision. This creature may be small, but its shape is strikingly similar to the typical yowie descriptions we've all seen online. And those eyes, shining brightly, reflecting the flashlight, add a whole new level of creepiness. What's interesting is that it doesn't seem to notice the tree cam at all. The individuals who uploaded this video are yowie hunters themselves. They had strategically placed a few apples as bait, and it looks like their plan worked. They managed to capture this mysterious creature on camera, adding yet another chapter to the legend of the yowie. There are countless great folktales out there, but none quite compare to the chilling Mexican legend of La Llorona. And guess what? This man has footage that might just prove she's all too real.
Ay, no manches. ¿Qué pedo? Ay, ¿dónde estás que no te veo, Llorona?
This video was recorded by a homeowner in the dead of night when they were startled by the sound of crying coming from the street. As the camera pans over the empty roads, you can clearly hear it. A haunting wail that sounds like a woman crying her heart out. so intense that even the street strays are freaking out, running around, as if they're trying to escape the terrifying sound. According to the man who recorded and uploaded this to TikTok, that bone-chilling cry belongs to none other than the infamous La Llorona. For those unfamiliar with the legend, La Llorona is a vengeful ghost from Mexican folklore, said to wander near bodies of water, mourning the children she drowned in a jealous rage after discovering her husband's infidelity. The story goes that anyone who hears her cry is doomed to misfortune or even death, with their life spiraling into failure. So now that we've all heard her cry, does that include us as well? I've heard people say that India isn't for beginners, and I always wondered why, until I saw this wild security footage from Gujarat. What in the Jumanji world is this? This video, captured by a home's main gate security camera, shows some seriously wild nighttime action. In the footage, a massive lion suddenly approaches the gate, charging at a guard dog on the other side. Just when you think it can't get any crazier, another lion appears, roaring at the dogs. Then, out of nowhere, one of the lions charges at the gate with so much force that it actually shakes it open. Thankfully, the lion didn't seem to notice that the gate had opened and eventually walked away, frustrated that it couldn't get to the dogs. The commotion woke up the homeowner, who came out to investigate, but by the time he got there, the lions had already left. He quickly closed the gate, and the video ends. This was downright terrifying. Just imagine if that lion had realized the gate was open and decided to stroll in. It could have been a disaster for those dogs, and no doubt for the homeowner as well. India is something else. If we dig into history, we unearth countless disasters that send shivers down your spine, but few horrors remain as hauntingly vivid as those left behind by the Chernobyl disaster of April 1986. Among these remnants, none is more terrifying than the infamous elephant's foot. On April 26, 1986, during what was supposed to be a routine low-power test, Reactor 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant spiraled catastrophically out of control. The result was a devastating explosion and a massive fire that obliterated the reactor building, releasing an enormous amount of radiation into the atmosphere. In the immediate aftermath, around 30 people lost their lives due to blast trauma and acute radiation syndrome. But the true nightmare was discovered 8 months later, deep beneath the ruins of reactor number 4. What you're seeing in this clip is a black, lava-like substance, a radioactive mass that emerged like a man-made volcano. Among these deadly formations, one stood out and was ominously nicknamed the elephant's foot due to its resemblance to the massive foot of the animal. You thinking it's just a mass, right? This horrifying creation, when it was first found, emitted between 8,000 to 10,000 Roentgens per hour, enough to deliver a lethal dose of radiation in just 5 minutes. The sheer radiation levels turned the area into a nightmarish hellscape, where even the walls seemed to drip with death. When it comes to disasters, invisible killers like radiation are the most terrifying, and Chernobyl 1986 stands as a grim reminder of just how deadly they can be. If you are enjoying this so far, consider subscribing. It really helps me keep this channel going. Our man-made structures, like the buildings we live and work in, usually feel like safe havens. Those 4 walls can seem like impenetrable fortresses, until they're not.
Whoa! What? Where's Viv? Where's Viv? Alright, you
good? You good?
This terrifying footage, captured on Roy Namur Island and shared on Instagram, offers a harrowing first-person perspective of a catastrophic flood. Inside a seemingly ordinary cafe, a cameraman desperately instructs two people to hold the door closed as the first wave of water looms. But before they can react, the floodwaters explode, shattering the door and inundating the cafe in seconds. Amid the chaos, the cameraman frantically checks on everyone's safety, only for another enormous wave to crash through, filling the cafe even more. It's a living nightmare. And then, something even more terrifying happens. The lights go out. The cameraman, realizing the severity of the situation, urges everyone to evacuate. But with a massive flood outside and the building itself filling up, you can't help but wonder, where can they possibly go? Concerned about everyone in the video, I did some digging and was relieved to find out that, thankfully, everyone survived. The injured were taken to the hospital, and now they all have one hell of a story to tell. As vast as our world is, space holds even more mysteries that continue to baffle us. This recent video from Melbourne might just be one of those unexplained phenomena.
That's crazy, man.
This intriguing footage was captured by an apartment owner in Melbourne during a morning stroll on his terrace. While enjoying the view, he noticed something strange in the sky that he couldn't quite explain. The video shows an extremely bright, vertical object hovering in the sky. At first glance, it appears to be the sun, but as the cameraman zooms in, it becomes clear that this isn't your typical sunrise. The object looks more like a glowing vertical beam, or perhaps even a mystical lantern suspended in midair. Naturally, this video has sparked a flurry of speculation. Some viewers have even suggested that this could be related to Project Bluebeam, a conspiracy theory claiming that high-ranking officials are secretly working on a project to simulate an artificial religious event. But before we dive too deep into conspiracy theories, it's worth considering a more down-to-earth explanation. It's possible that this is simply a trick of the light. Perhaps the sun distorted by the camera's lens, or a glitch in its ability to capture light correctly. After all, it is broad daylight, and the sun can sometimes play tricks on our eyes and technology. Voice assistants, like Alexa, can be lifesavers, giving you the latest news with just one voice command. But sometimes you might just regret having one around.
Twinkle little star, how I wonder what you are. Above the world so high.
Why? Why?
We were literally just saying that.
Why?
Why is she singing what we were singing?
This eerie video was uploaded on TikTok by a couple who experienced a truly bizarre and terrifying interaction with their voice assistant, Alexa. The video starts with the boyfriend, Matt, casually murmuring the "Twinkle, twinkle, little star" nursery rhyme. His girlfriend playfully joins in, continuing the tune. But as she stops to ask Matt a question, something strange happens.
Little star, how I wonder what you are. Did you want me to make passes time?
Yeah.
Or another string? Alright.
What is my time?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Out of nowhere, Alexa picks up where the girlfriend left off, continuing the nursery rhyme without anyone commanding it to do so. The sudden, unexpected singing freaked Matt and his girlfriend out so much that they bolted out of the house in sheer panic. This is definitely one of the most unsettling technological malfunctions I've ever seen. After witnessing this, I might just stick to doing things the old-fashioned way. No voice assistance for me, that's for sure. After all the ferocity, it's time to switch gears and show you the softer, more tender side of these wild creatures. Get ready for a heartwarming moment that will melt your heart. What you are watching isn't a bear cub attacking a man's leg. It is something far more touching, captured by a firefighter. This video shows a bear expressing what can only be described as gratitude toward the man who just saved its life. In the clip, you see the bear clinging to the man's leg like a scared child, refusing to let go. Having just been rescued from a raging forest fire, the bear seems to be either thanking the man for his bravery or still seeking comfort from the terrifying ordeal it just went through. The bear's hug is a poignant reminder that even the wildest of animals can show moments of vulnerability and affection. This heartwarming video beautifully illustrates how kindness transcends species boundaries. Thinking of exploring a spooky local abandoned place with friends? Watch this video first. It shows a super old abandoned palace at night. The place has giant doorways and hallways that seem to stretch forever. The camera slowly pans across one of these big doorways, holding on it for a while. Suddenly, the cameraman hears something down the long hallway. He swings the camera back towards the sound and gets the scare of his life. A ghostly figure is standing there, staring right at him. It just stands there, completely still, in a way that sends shivers down your spine. It looks like a big, tall, human-shaped ghost. Maybe it's the spirit of someone who used to live in the palace, angry that someone dared to enter their territory. I think the cameraman made the right choice to get out of there. It's probably best to leave these abandoned places alone, especially at night. There's something unsettling about videos of lone figures deep in the woods. Even if they're not doing anything creepy, it's just strange to see them out there. This video, shot by a hiker, takes that feeling to a new level. In this video, it's dark and hard to see clearly, but there's a strange, human-like figure moving between the trees. We can see its head and hands, and it seems to be breaking branches. But why? Suddenly, the creature notices the hiker recording it and lets out a loud whoop, like a monkey. The sound is a warning, and the hiker takes it. They run, and the video ends. To me, the creature looks like an ape or a gorilla, but that's impossible. So, what was it?
For more strange and interesting footage, check this out.